Well, good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with me, Pastor Michelle. Today's Wednesday, December 16th. And our story from Disney comes from 101 Dalmatians, and it's called Having a Ball. So let's have a ball and listen to this story. It was almost Christmas, and the puppies couldn't wait. Do you puppies know what comes before Santa and dinner and presents? Perdita asked. Patch wasn't sure. He sat down on the hall rug to think. We have to decorate and sing carols, Perdita said, wagging her tail. At that very moment, Roger and Anita threw open the door to the study and invited all the dogs inside. Patch blinked. He couldn't believe his eyes. What's a tree doing in the house? Just watch, Purdy gave Patch a quick lick. While the dogs looked on, Roger and Anita began to decorate the tree. They hung lights and angels, snowmen, and tinsel. Of all the decorations, Patch liked the glittering glass balls the best. Balls were one of his favorite things. He couldn't take his eyes off of them. When the tree was ready, Anita brought in cocoa and dog biscuits, munching on a biscuit in front of the fire. Patch didn't think the evening could get any better. Then Roger sat down at the piano and everyone began to sing Christmas carols. Patch howled along with the others, but he could not stop looking at the balls on the tree. A large red one was hanging near the floor. Patch reached over and gave the ball a pat with his front paw. It swung merrily above him. Looking at his reflection, Patch started to laugh. His nose looked huge. Penny stopped singing to see what was so funny. What are you doing? Then Freckles joined them. Then Lucky. The puppies took turns knocking the ball and watching it sway. Then crash! It fell to the floor, shattering. The singing stopped. Poor Patch was sure the special evening was ruined. Oh dear, Anita scooped the puppies out from under the tree. Careful now, those balls aren't for playing with. While Roger swept up the glass, Patch cowered. He knew he was in trouble. Maybe I should give you all one gift early, Anita said. Patch couldn't believe his luck. Instead of a firm talking to, each puppy got to rip open a small package. Patch tore off the paper. Inside was a brand new red rubber ball. All right. So, my friends, I think about, I don't know if any of you have pets at home, but our dog, this year she's gotten better. Last year she destroyed so many of our glass ornaments, the Christmas balls, and she took them off the tree and would go out and think it was a ball to play with. And we would go outside and see plastic or glass everywhere. We're just glad that she didn't eat any of the glass, because she just, I don't know what got into her last year. Anyway, so our bold woman of the day for our reading today is Audre Lorde. So there she is. She was a poet, essayist, and activist. So let's hear about her, shall we? Since childhood, Audre loved to read and write. She wrote her first poem at the age of 8, and before she completed high school, her work was published in 17 magazine. Oh, I remember that magazine. After graduation, she took a trip to Mexico that she found eye-opening. There she saw a place where her race was not something to be ashamed of. So seeing this made her realize that she had let that shame keep her silent. She learned just how important her voice was, and so she began to use it. She returned to the U.S. with a newfound confidence and went to college for a degree in library science. She graduated and worked as a librarian, but Audre did not sit quietly. Her voice was her new instrument, which she used to speak up and speak out. The civil rights movement was building steam, and Audre was an active member. She quickly transformed into a prominent and vocal leader, activist, and feminist. She worked alongside other famous writers such as Nikki Giovanni and Amiri Baraka. Among her famous works is her book of poetry, From a Land Where Other People Live. At the age of 44, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Instead of taking the news quietly, she began speaking openly about it. She wrote the cancer journals, documenting her surgeries and experiences. It opened up a conversation about disease for women that had rarely been talked about. When she was 50, the cancer spread to her liver. She wrote and spoke about the journey to find new treatment. She exposed and criticized the medical institutions and their insensitive practices. And she shared her experiences with others. Audre is remembered as an outspoken leader and a fierce advocate for those without a voice. And so I hope all of us continue to use our voice as best as we can. So God bless you all, and have a wonderful night.